Start recording. Okay, cool. Well, yeah. So, do you wanna? Why don't we do this? I was thinking we start with your specific, like the questions. You know, you had your response back to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to start with that, and then we
Yeah.
can do that, and then sort of just take it from there. That sound good?
You bet.
All right. Yeah. Let me just pull up your document real quick. Okay, cool. Yeah, so let's take the first one. You said, do you recognize any of the samples I used? A little bit of the rhythm comes from other songs, switch the instrumentation. No. I did not recognize the samples you used, but also that depends on, what were your samples?
Um, that's maybe that's good. I don't. I was just curious.
Okay, yeah.
So let's see. Starting from the roll call, it's Inner City Blues by Marvin Gaye.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Let me play.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Why don't I play it? Oh, what are you? You're under Puce Mafia? Yeah, right. Okay, roll call.
And I fucking feel the boom nanny.
Okay, which Marvin Gaye track is that?
It's Inner City Blues.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and then how about the other ones?
Next one. Okay, so the next one is I took pieces of like the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy.
Oh no shit. Yeah. So which one is that? Puce.
That's Puce 2020.
Yeah. Hold on.
You may not hear it right away, like the like it's the bells that really give it away.
3 peas in the pod. Holy motherfucking god, a rap I can't believe, so I guess I'm out.
Jack I go. Once I drop it goes all over the fucking rail, just like a ball.
So, do you mind a boner kill?
Nope, I got a boner still, so ladies free to ride in Nirvana on my boner skill, and once I bust. You
Okay.
hardly know
Oh
it.
shit. Okay. Yeah. You know what throws it off is the yeah, because I mean anyone should be able to recognize that sample. So that's really cool how you cut it up, because what throws it off is the bells. You know, that you have bells playing it, because bells don't make sound in like a normal way. They have a really strong minor third overtone. So that's what gives bells like their special sound. And you know, like most keys are, a lot of pop music is in major, so if you throw in a minor third overtone, then it's not that it changes the key, it just kind of confuses the harmony. That's really cool, though. Yeah, how about the other ones, then?
And like I think probably the bass part there is like if you
Yeah.
like what I do is I get the MIDI. I'll get like a MIDI version of something and I
And then
just
fuck
like
it up?
fucking cut it up. And,
Yeah. So, yeah, so
like I'm not good with harmonics. Like I haven't studied it.
okay,
Like,
like,
I just don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds. I know one of your other questions was, does this part sound weird? So we'll get to that in a second. But honestly, like, dude, like that's how most. Excuse me. It's how most producers make music. You know, they just go with their ear. So it's like,
Yeah.
really, it's like as long as you've listened to a ton of music, which you obviously have, and then you just go with your taste. Like, I doubt. No, well, Kanye West has been doing it for so long that he probably could. But, like, shit, man, I doubt if, like, Jay Dilla could lead a chord change. You know, which is, like, the first thing they fucking teach you in college music theory or whatever. So, yeah, I honestly wouldn't worry about it. We'll get to that one.
The Wayne Keto one is Billie Jean.
Okay, let me,
Motherfucker.
Peeps.
Is it here?
Yeah,
When you're looking
that
at
like
me now.
dun-dun-dun-dun.
Is that in? I guess it is. Yeah, it's in the background of Billie Jean, though, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, let me pull up Billie Jean real quick. This is really interesting. And again, you know, you shouldn't. How long have you been making music?
Like music under a year.
Really? That's all? Okay. Why do you say like music? What do you mean?
Like I mean, like I've been writing dirty like
Yeah,
limerick rhymes on
for-
the subway for longer than that.
Okay. Oh, you mean like the
But, like-
music part of it?
Like production.
The beats, yeah, okay. Okay, no, just because you have like a really mature aesthetic is how I would put it. Like it's all really, yeah, it just all makes sense. Is how I would put it. Let me play Beat It real quick though. Billie Jean, excuse me. I'm playing. Yeah. So it's probably there. It's at the end. Yeah. Okay. That's super cool. Yeah. One thing is that fucking EMT. They will probably sue you for using that sample if you try to sell this. So
I that's something that I'm worried about. And I don't know. I don't remember. I now don't remember what I did do it and like how different it is. Like it's probably different rhythmically.
Yeah, that's the I know more than most musicians about this probably because both my parents are lawyers. And actually the composer who taught me composition in college, he sampled Billie Jean. But it wasn't Billie Jean, it was Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. So like he composes for instruments, right? So orchestras. So he took that string part, and he inverted it, which means he plays it upside down. So whereas that goes up, his goes down. So and I'm just saying it's EMT. It's important that it's EMT because they're the people who sue people for singing Happy Birthday at restaurants or whatever. And they own the Beatles album, the Beatles masters, and they won't let people use the Beatles. So I'm just saying, like, if you release it, just don't sell it, but the thing is, you can copyright melodies, but you can't copyright chord changes. And so it'll be interesting to know whether what you've done with it is enough. But, like, my professor felt he had to really change it, invert it. But, whatever. Who knows if Mike... Yeah.
This is like second,
third
level problems.
Yeah.
Really, if I have this problem, probably it's a good sign.
Yeah, because that means the song got really popular. No, that's really cool though. Okay, because what I like about it is like, what good producers do is that they take ideas from places that seem to have no relationship whatsoever, and then turn it into something really fucking dope. So, like, your music doesn't sound like Michael Jackson, and it doesn't sound like Death of the Sugar Plum Fairy, and it doesn't sound like Marvin Gaye. But it all goes together really well. So I would just say, even though I wasn't able to identify these samples the first time through, I think that's actually a good thing, not a bad thing, because you want you want people to be able to listen to it over and over and not just get everything on the first time, right? Okay, cool.
The fourth one is like the major thing that I took was that organ part. It's the opening to a Rachmaninoff concerto.
All right.
I think it's probably his major piano concerto.
Okay, let me check it.
And the girl, father, son,
Horse stopping.
This part?
Yeah, it's the organ bit in the background.
son,
Like,
Horse stopping house.
okay, not the piano.
Oh, actually, the piano is too. That like, boom, the bass bit on the
Okay.
piano.
son,
Horse stopping house.
3 dicks in 1. 1 dick in
This is the okay. Where is this? Yeah, this is in my feedback, right? Okay. Give me a second. The
JC of Nazareth, adorned with horns like you don't know hazardous. It had no placement, succulent.
yeah, okay, because I was wondering, because you chopped it up in a really interesting way. Like someone less creative would have just put everything on beat 1 and beat 3 or whatever. But that's what I was saying, right, in part of the feedback. I told you that I really like how you tilted the bar a little bit and made parts that aren't normally so emphatic more emphatic.
I did play around with that a lot because otherwise it sounds like classical music, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which I really like classical music.
Sure, but that's not what I'm...
No,
It's probably not easy to rap over, and it's not what I was going for.
Yeah, absolutely. So the, okay, so you just pointed out some samples to me. How about everything else that's in those songs, though? Is that all original, or?
I think in every case, the percussion parts are original.
Mm.
And then some of the other harmonic stuff is, I mean, I think in almost all of them I got the harmonics from somewhere else.
Okay.
Just because I'm not confident on it. but the rhythm, like I sort of would cut up the rhythm in a way I knew it wouldn't screw up the harmonics.
Okay.
But changed it.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, so then we can kind of move to the next part, which why don't we just I did talk a little bit about your beats themselves, right? So let's
that's not the thing that I'm really
focused
on. Like if I found somebody who I jived with who wanted to write all the beats,
you rather do that?
I mean, I'd certainly let them do some of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, then I just want to reiterate the one kind of direct piece of advice I gave on your beats then in this document, which was that to fill the middle spectrum. You know, like that one point I said, you pretty much gave yourself everything you need to rap, right? Like you gave a snare and the harmony and the bass kick, and you have all of the parts of the beat there. You know, you have the piano part, the bells, everything. But now you need to learn how to hear it with your ear so that from 0 hertz up to 20,000 hertz, the whole space is filled, you know, and what's really missing is your middle ground. And it's like, that's like the 500 hertz area, the 1000, you know, do you EQ your tracks, right? You must.
You mean like play around with the EQ?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So now I would just think about, and it's something you have to do from the start, which makes it hard. Because it's not like you can always really go back and put something into the mid ground. Because it might be like, oh, well, the rappers are taking up too much space. Which, like I pointed out in here, they really do, right? They switch with each other a lot. They rap a lot. There are tons of words. The rap is so dense that it's like so much attention goes there. You have to be really careful about what you put behind it. Because you could very easily put something back there in the beat behind the rappers that takes away from all of their great kind of interplay. Okay, so again, if the beats aren't the most important thing to you, that's fine. We can let's just get to the rap then. Okay,
sure.
Samples. I was surprised that you didn't ask about the name Puce Mafia. Yeah, okay, so I was thinking about this, and the thing is like, yeah, like bro, names in rap, they could just be fucking anything, you know? So, like, if you wrote a goddamn book and the name was, like, by Puce Mafia, I would have been like, why the hell is that his name? But, bro, in rap, it's like, I already know someone named Raekwon. I know someone named fucking MF Doom. I know someone named, you know, Jean Grey, Nas. So it's just like, I hear so many different names on a daily basis. I never thought to ask, like, why? I mean, there's Junior Mafia, right? So it's like, I just thought it was something like that, you know? So what is Puce Mafia then, I guess?
So part of what it was, like, because the content is so over the top,
yeah,
I was going for things that sort of, like, hat tip or, like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the fact that this shouldn't be taken too seriously.
Yeah.
So I went out of my way to come up with the stupidest name I could come up with.
The what name?
The stupidest.
Okay, and so does puce have a meaning, or you just put it in there?
Puce is a color.
Puce is a
color?
color?
But it's a color. No. Google it.
Yeah, I'm about to, yeah.
It's kind of pinkish.
Okay.
It's actually kind of, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Some people have been like, oh, is that like a dick color? Which I can't.
Okay.
Which I hadn't thought of, but...
Yeah.
It's also something that, it's an interesting word that, like, you can work with, right?
Yeah, puce. Yeah, and I mean, you can rhyme things with it, which is always super important. Marie Antoinette's favorite color was puce. Okay, anyway, so, okay.
And then I stuck on mafia because, like, it's ludicrous that these people are a mafia. There's only 3 of them. Yeah. And I think mafia is, like, is played out, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. By this point, it's like, I'm still surprised that dudes come out named Big and Lil, man. Like Big Sean, I would have thought, like, after fucking... I used to have an entire poster called The Taxonomy of Rap Names that organized them all. Have you ever seen that? It's like connections. No. Oh, yeah. But it divides them into Lil, Big, Numbers, Young, you know, Young Gotti, Young Thug. Yeah, so that's true. It is played out. Especially now, like Puce Mafia. If I saw an album release in 2017... by Puce Mafia, and I knew what Puce was, then I would know that it was a joke. Because no one in 2017, like I said, Junior Mafia, that's the fucking Biggie's crew in the 1990s, you know, when gangster rap had yet to be parodied, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and this actually gets a little bit to my more general feedback, which is good. But yeah, so it's like you're on the right track. It's like Puce might just be too much of an inside joke, you know? Like, I had no idea what the fuck Puce was. A color, I mean. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you ask about what my first impression was, and whether that evolved as I listened through the tracks. Okay, you mean just in general, right? Or do you mean like, okay, so...
It's like you don't know anything about me. I went out of my way, like, not to tell you too much.
Yeah.
You're like, I've never heard of this dude. What is this?
Yeah, and so the biggest thing comes down to the beat then, right? So I kind of want to break this into two parts. I want to think of what I say when I hear it overall, because when people listen to a song, the first thing they don't hear is not the rap. And I don't even mean it chronologically. They don't hear the rap first. I mean, they focus on the beat, man. It's why at clubs, they play the beat way too fucking loud, because it's the most important thing, right? So, if we're taking it as a whole, and my impression when I heard the beat was like, again, what I said about the missing mid-ground, which just means the track does not feel full. And, you know, I want to, just, so like, let's take this.
Do you know
Nah, not that one.
Stopping post.
Right, so this.
Son, all stopping post. Father, son, all stopping post.
Like, you have a ton of ideas in there. There are 3 rappers, there's a cymbal, there's a piano, there's a bass kick, there's a snare. There are 3 or 4, what would you say, elaborating percussive elements, like the cowbells, the little but they aren't meshed together, you know? They're not like this, right? So when I hear the beat, it just sounds thin. And this colors my understanding of the rap, you know? And so it doesn't take that much to fill it all up, right? And so, like, let's even just take someone like fucking, that I was just listening to, Lil Uzi Vert. And this will affect your rap, so it's okay to talk about. But I mean, like... Yeah, and part of it is mixing, but again, part of it is just how you think about the beat from start to end. Like, what makes Kanye West is, when he thinks of a song, he does not start at minute 0 and then go to minute 5. He sees it as a whole, beginning to end. So this is sort of what I'm talking about. So like the Lil Uzi Vert, you know, it's just shit, man. It's super simple. And yeah, people are going to hate on it. But it's like bass kick, snare, warm keys to fill it all out, and then little elaborating hi-hats. And I think the greatest mixer, let me say this, the greatest mixer of all time is Dr. Dre. Because he can come up with arrangements that have like 8 ideas in it, and all of them have their place. So let me just play this for you real quick. It's O.
Oh, you did a...
Yeah, you saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, then, you know, but I mean, it's really... And then it's Lowe's cello. You can come back here. Solo violin. I mean, it's like, it's fucking amazing, right? So, that's that. But when I heard your rap, what I wished was, like, I wish that the beats were as good as the rap. I guess that I wish that the beats were as full as the rap. You know, and I'm not using full in a loose way. I mean full as in, like, let's consider your rap in isolation, right? It's awesome. You know, like, I've been waiting for a long time for rap to kind of take this turn into more super ultra musical, ultra rhythmic ways, you know, because people are like, oh, well, listen to Kendrick on Rigor Mortis, you know, and they're like, yeah, that's super rhythmic, so let me just, you know, right here. You know, that's super rhythmic, and it's super awesome, and it's super musical, and that is one of the greatest pieces of music ever made in the history of the world, to me. But there's just one rapper, right? And so that means, at a certain extent, yeah, like, he can only do so much, you know, and I'm sorry, I might have to cut that part out of this video because it's not giving Kendrick nearly enough credit. But it's like, look, man, like, 2 rappers, take one rapper and say he does this rhythm, right? Da 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 da. It's just da da da. But if you split that same rhythm up into two rappers, it's not the same rhythm anymore, right? If you go da 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 da, you know, or with you got three, you go da 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 da, right? Then now we're fucking building up to like goddamn symphonies and orchestras and string quartets and shit like that. So when I heard your rap, that's what I thought. I was like, shit, man, I wish he had beats that made these rappers really in the pocket. You know, and if anything, it's like, you know, your evolution kind of reminds me of my own, because at this point it's clear to me that you have so many fucking ideas and you want to do so much that now what you need to do is not like get better. It's like you need to hone. You need to like carve. Man, how I imagine it when I sit down is like I have this fucking rock, right? And there's a crystal in it. And all I do is I take a goddamn, what do you carve crystals with? I don't know. Let's say like an axe, right? And and you just chop away. And you are absolutely goddamn ruthless about the things you cut out. And if it does not have anything to do with your song, I'm sorry, but like chopping block. And you should almost get like a sadistic like pleasure out of this, to just be like, yes, that idea is awesome. It is one of the 10 greatest ideas I have ever had, but does not go in this song. And if it's really good, you know, yeah, you can save it for another song. Shit, I do that. You write it down. You're like, oh, I came up. I mean, it's a great example. I was writing this song that's all about. Ooh. Right. Okay, so I guess I was writing this song that was all about how sentence structure affects our understanding of rap, right? So at a few different points, you know, yeah, if it's long, if it's short, if the word order is inverted, if you cut it off. So yeah, let's listen to a little bit. I'm sorry, I don't listen to my music too much with people, and I can go a little over. If you have time, I can go to 6.
Time.
Yeah. So let's listen to this.
Shit.
And I'll be interested to know if you get my references in here. They're sort of obscure. They're the opening and ending. And we won't listen to the whole thing because it's 7.5 minutes long. But here, this is what it was.
We're that cunt who be talking shit. He don't come around no more because I fucked his bitch. I made her suck my dick while I was squeezing her tits. Then I hit it from the back, gripped tight on them hips. She tried to make me come, but I was trying to take her home, dropped her off and seen you fishing on your raggedy roam. Could've thumped you in your dome, you little fag. And don't sag too hard. Show everybody you're open now.
Kneel and give your thanks on now for Irvin's compromise. The clock cracks, the tar boils, enacting and interacting in an end. Time loses its way, you and I bask. Already the weak sun sees the rain. Kneel and give your thanks on now for Irvin's compromise. Again. And now the past good and bad is that it's always just right there. The wire stripped, the number stopped, enacting, interacting in an end. I didn't know I cared at all, by then I was deep in love. Already the weak sun sees the rain. The past good and bad is that it's always just on and on. Now, if all mirrors did was Fleck was there, then we wouldn't need eyes. The metal's metal is metal. The plain seller was passed by some cells, enacting, interacting in an end. The plate seller was passed by some cells. The metal's metal is metal. Already the weak sun sees the rain. If all mirrors did was Fleck was there, then we wouldn't need forever, never. Now, the only problem with trying to utilize the prophet is that the voice they hear in their head never seem to be the ones you want. They call it a heartbeat for a reason. I never said you could eavesdrop in here, enacting, interacting in an end. The voice of one's crying in the wilderness. Truly, for this God must be good. Already the weak sun sees the rain. The only problem with trying to utilize the prophet is that the voices they hear in their head never seem to be the ones you open. Now, Neil Dexter gave out now for Evans compromise. The clock class, the bar tours, enacting, interacting in an time pass. You and I loses our way. Already the weak sun sees the rain. Neil Dexter give out now for Evans compromise. Again. And now the past good and bad is stripped. The wire's just right there. The summer stopped. Enacting, interacting in an interactors, interact. I didn't know I was scared of all by 10. I was steeped in love. Already the weak sun sees the rain. Already the past good and bad is on and on. And now if all mirror stick was Fleck was there, then we wouldn't need eyes. The metal's metal. The blade seller was passed by some metal. Enacting, interacting in a metal the blade seller was passed by some metal. The metal, the blade seller sells. Already the weak sun sees the rain. The weight stain sees the rain. The weak scene says the rain. If all mirror stick was Fleck was there, then we wouldn't need forever, never. Now the only problem with trying to utilize the prophet is that the voices they hear in their head never seem to be the ones you want. The only problem with trying to call the Harley beater for a reason. And I never said you could drop to ease and share and act and interact and just start finding labor. It's really just right must be good. Already the weak sun sees the rain and the rainy rain. The only problem with trying to utilize the prophet is that the voices they hear in their head never seem to be the ones you want.
The ones you want. The ones. You want the ones. You want the ones, you want the ones you want, you want. You want, you want. The wants want, the one want. Want the one. Wins you win, wins you up, wins you tough. Woo wins tough, woo wins 10. 2 tens tough, 10 times 2, 2 times 10, 10 times 3, 20 times 20, 20 dirty times, 20 times 30, 30 third time, dirty word time, diddy wad time, sticky wad dime, sticky wad dime, sticky tad dime, ticky tad dime, ticky tack dop, ticky tack top, ticky tack top, ticky tack top, and tap the tape with the ticky tack top to top of the tip of the tap, tip of the tap, tip of the cap, tip of the gap, kip of the gap, kibble the gap, curb of the gap, carb of the gap, garble the gap, garble the gap, garble the goat, garble the ghost, garble the host, garble the hoist, garble the joist, garble the joy, garble the goy, garble goy, gargoyle, 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 gargoyle. I gargle the gargoyle and gurgle it up a guard in a guard. Start in the guards, hard in the guard, hard in the hard, harsh in the hard, marsh in the hard, marsh in the hoy, moist in the hoy, hoist in the hoy, hoist in the goy, hoisty poi, hoist the poi, hoi ploy, hoi ploy, hoi ploy. The hoi ploy boy coyly toyed with toys, toyed with toys, toyed with toyty, ahoy toyty, hoity toyty, hoity tutty, hoity tut, huddy tut, tutty tut, tut 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 tut, da 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 da. Da 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 on and on and on and forever and ever and ever. Open to the again. The past could have been set. If all your shit was flat was there, then you have problems trying to let the problem set up. How do you really give it thanks upside down for steps on inner compromise and leap before a master's border again? It's always just right, probably just there, leave right or close, they don't any reflections, just there, they'll be multi-what if they do not apologize. I'm not real and problematic society, expertizing your profitability, instead of choosing the cheer, no chair, never believe the civilizing problem, never enacted, and never acted, did and enacted, and earned and enacted, and enacted, and earned, did and earned, actor, interacted, to the police, so it was fast, wasn't sales, so it was fast, so it was fast, so it was fast, so it was fast, so it was close already, the weak sons, procedures, the any on and up, the some pseudo quasi apparent, rating, the licenses, while your language is showing. Your language is showing.
Kneel and give your thanks out now for heaven's compromise. The clock cracks, the tar boils, enacting and interacting and then. Time loses its way. You and I bask. Already the weak sun sees the rain. The past good and bad is that it's always just right there. The wire's stripped, the numbers stopped. Enacting, interacting, and in. I didn't know I cared at all. By then, I was deep in love. Already the weak sun sees the rain. If all mirrors did was reflect what's there, then we wouldn't need eyes. The metal's metal, metal is metal. The plain settler was passed by some sails. Enacting and interacting and in. Already the weak sun sees the rain. The only problem with trying to utilize a prophet is that the voices they hear in their head never seem to be the ones you want. They call it a heartbeat for a reason. I never said you could eavesdrop in here. Enacting and interacting and in. The voice of one's crying in the wilderness. Truly, for this God must be good. Already the weak sun sees the rain. Already the weak sun sees the rain. Already the weak sun sees the rain.
How the fuck I fit an axe in a satchel? Slip capsules in her glass, she's dizzy rascal. Party staff's baffled, asking where her ass go. In my room, redefining the meaning of black holes. Go on, suck it up. But hurry, I got nuts to bust and butts to fucking ups to shut and sluts to fucking uppercut. It's MC, Buttercup. Go ahead. Fuck with us. Without a doubt, a surefire way to get your mother fucked.
Woo! Threw you into the.
Earl.
What's that?
That last bit was Earl.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good call. Yeah, and the opening one was someone one of Snoop Dogg's, not like a super well-known associate. I should look his name up. But yeah, it's from a Dr. Dre's song, Beat, I guess, called Lay Low. But it's a Snoop Dogg track. But anyway, I wanted to play you the whole thing because to point out what I did. Because I cut this part. And I'm going to send you this part that I cut now. Because one of my questions while I was making this song was about what the fuck is the climax, right? Like, the song's 7.5 minutes long, but really, except for the development part in the middle, which is only about 1.5 minutes, you know, the kip of the cap, curve of the gap, garve of the gap, but whatever, that ends in gargoyle, everything is repeated. So you hear everything, like you hear the sentence, enactin and interactin, you must hear it at least 10 times. Right, so it's like
I love the
right, enacted, interacted, and interact. Yeah, that's one of my more favorite, right? Because yeah, it's so fun because your mind knows that the sentence makes sense, but you don't know what I'm saying, right? Like it doesn't break grammar. It's not like I'm saying like I were sad tomorrow or something, right? It all makes sense, but you're like I don't know what he's saying. So it's that or like already the weak sun sees the rain. It's like how would you explain that without using any of the words in that sentence?
We'll probably do it.
Yeah. Like, if you were just to explain, what is that sentence saying?
It's saying that the... I mean, are you saying what it's saying poetically or what it's saying literally?
Literally. Just the semantic meaning of the sentence. Yeah, just like...
I mean, without using sun, I could define sun.
Well, okay, sun. You can use some of the words. You know what I mean. Like, what is it saying, okay. I guess, yeah.
You're basically saying that the sun is peeking through the dreary weather.
Okay, already the weak sun sees the rain. Yeah, okay, yeah, exactly. And that's, like, how I set it up, right? And that's the first meaning. But it's like, I really wanted to create a sentence that even if you heard it a million times, it wouldn't... You could still come up with more meanings, right? And so what I did is sun could be a lot of things because it could be sun, but since S is used for so many different things in English, it's used for possession, it's used for pluralization. It can really be all of these things. So it could be sun, it could be sun, it could be sun, sons, week, seas. You know, so like, so I calculated it out, and there are like thousands of potential meanings for that sentence, which is why I felt comfortable saying it over and over. But like, everything we've talked about so far doesn't have anything to do with this poem I'm about to send you. And I actually like the poem. But what this, so I thought this might be the climax of my song, and I even know where I would put it. I would put it right where it switches from here to here. So at this point, I was thinking about putting this poem, okay? And this poem really only makes sense if you read it out loud and pay attention to how your mouth is moving. So I'll do it now. Since this bit of the bud is snipped, let's clip this leaf and seal the tree sap's cut. Then, we'll loft the bed and also trim that bad limb soon. I'll cut its big pits and nuts into the bag, while you go sow seeds where the sun shone and where the rains ran. Last, using a big baited net, we'll catch all the bugs, bats, ticks, and ants from the stems and shoots. After that helpful lift will have left the plant's petals and blooms happy, laughing, and clapping their thankful, ecstatic hands. So, the idea, it only makes sense if you read it out loud to yourself, because it's all about the position of your mouth as you read it. And so you start at the vowel sound with bit, snipped, this, and you end at you know, clapping, thankful, ecstatic, hands. And so these vowels, you actually pronounce them on opposite sides of your mouth. The I is front and closed, so it's not that loud, and the A is back and open. Yeah, I videotaped my mouth while I was pronouncing it to track this, right? But again, it's cool. It's a cool concept. It just doesn't have fucking anything to do with the song I wrote. You know, like, like it's related because I'm thinking about vowel sounds and how they affect the rhythm of the rap. Because this is what Jean Grey told me. You know, she said the rhythm is the word. because I asked her like, oh, do you come up with the rhythm like da 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 first, or do you do the word? And she's like, well, I come up with both of them. And she was really insistent. And at first I thought she just meant like literally. But now as I unpeel it, she really means it not just that she comes up with them at the same time, but the actual word you select is the rhythm. So the easiest way to do this is to compare people's triplets, right? Because sometimes a triplet is hard, like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But sometimes, and you know, I have the hard D sound. I have the loud schwa vowel sound. But sometimes they're really soft, right? Like in Young Thug's verse on Chance the Rapper's mixtape. Shit, hold on. And I'll just play it real quick. Because on this triplet, he doesn't really use any hard vowel sounds at all. And so I'll bring this back to your music in a second, but like right here. You know, he's using sounds like respect, all, right? And so, like, the triplet is more liquid. It's like, ooh, you know? It's not da-da-da-da-da-da. So this is sort of what I would want to see, like I said in the general feedback, is like when you write these songs to, just really super pare it down and know what you're doing. And I think those kind of suggestions I gave for you to really treat it like an ensemble, like a composer looks at a string quartet and he's like, okay, I know the cello is the bass voice, the viola is the supporting voice, and the violin can trade the melody or be the alto voice. You know, like, it's like, just adding that sort of kind of start to finish ruthless editorship. Like, when people write books, you know, they're only about one fucking thing. When people write articles, they're only about one thing. So, I'm sorry, that was a super long way of giving you my general impression. But yeah, do you have any questions about that?
No, like, I totally get what you're saying.
Okay.
It's, I wonder how much, I'm sure there are things that I don't know to cut.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like you have an understanding of the rhythm.
Yeah.
That at a very conceptual level that I don't have. And some of that's just going to be like listening to my shit 1,000 times.
Yeah. And I think it is. If I were you, I would think of your rappers as like characters in a story rather than as rappers who show up and just perform. You know, and I'm sure you've got a general backstory for some of them. But it's like, that's what I want to know. Like, it's interesting because at this moment in rap, and again, you know, you brought me this shit, and really, I was like, thank God I'm hearing this. That was my first impression. And then the beat to be
that's nice to hear.
Well, yeah, because I've just waited for this moment for so long. Like, you know, comparatively, I've sort of toiled in obscurity for the past 10 years doing this shit and listening to let me check how many times I've heard In the Club. In the Club, I listened 257 out of 3.25 minutes. So whatever 257 times 3.25 minutes is, you know, so we're getting on over half a day. But it's good because you are actually not the only person who's brought me something like this. There's a dude named Eitan from Israel and then a guy from Britain. So I've been waiting for this, but it's like, you know, your rap at this point is like more than a rap. Like, it's like a musical if musicals didn't suck. Is the best way I know how to put it. Because that's sort of what pissed me off about Hamilton, was everyone was like, oh, rap is awesome, what a great musical. And I wanted to be like, if you've ever listened to a good fucking rap album, you've heard Hamilton before. Like, Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick has a plot, it has characters, it has development, it has themes, and it addresses everything that Hamilton does. So like your rap, it's like, I find myself drawn to be wanting to know about these rappers as people, and you can bring these out in musical situations, right? So it's like, you know, when Run DMC do their Peter Piper routine where they trade it back and forth really quick, you get the sense that
Peter Piper pick peppers, but run Humpty fell down. That's his hard time. Jack nimble, and he was quick, but jam. Mastermind, Factor Jacks on Jay's dick.
You get more than, and this is just how rap works, you get more than a musical effect. You get the sense that Run and DMC are fucking great fucking friends, you know? Yeah. And it's like, that is, I mean, I do this stuff all the time. You know, my rap, all of my songs are almost like I want to be able to express them in a prompt. You know, like back in school when your teacher would give you an assignment and there would be a prompt. And it would be one sentence, and it would be super specific, and it would be like, write 1,000 words on the American Revolution while citing 2 primary sources. I want my conception of what my music is doing to be so fucking razor sharp that I can express it in a prompt. So, like this one, and we'll listen a little bit to it. What is it? It's called... I didn't send you this one either. Let me... Actually, is it okay if I play you the whole thing? It's 3.5 minutes.
Go for it.
Cool? Alright.
I'm a millionaire, I'm a young fuck, and I just don't care about your car.
Yeah, do you know this? Okay, cool.
Let's go with
This is the one thing that you sent to me.
Oh, did I send you this? I didn't send you 2?
No, you just sent me the one.
Oh, I didn't send you this? Oh, really? Oh, shit. Okay, wow. So hearing 4 must have been really, being thrown in the deep end for you. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, so, like, my prompt for that was, like, sample an entire song in such a way that you can play it twice without it getting boring. That was my prompt, and that's what I did, right? I sampled Block Party's Staying Fat, and I played it really twice. I guess technically 1.5. But I did it in such a way that it doesn't get fucking boring, you know? And so, like, that's really what I'm going for, like, that prompt. And I know this isn't everyone's artistry, but, like, yeah, you know, like, all those ideas I was just throwing out there, I mean, dude, there is so much here, because it's like, rap has been waiting for this moment for the voice to be treated like a pure instrument, really forever, you know? And I could point to different songs where that's kind of developed over time. But yeah, that's sort of what I would say, but, like, it's like, if this is what you're doing after just writing rhymes on the subway or whatever you said and, like, only producing for a year, like, once you put it all together and kind of give your beats give your rap the support from the beats that they demand, and then hone your, like, vision, I guess? Yeah, I guess it's vision. Then this will be really fucking dope, you know? So even just, like, in miniature of this is that part I was talking about of making your good ideas great, where you say... find out that they were ours, right? Let me pull that up. And I think what I was saying at this moment of the song was clear enough to give it more space. But, like, this is really what I mean overall, you know? Because the first thing I do when I start a new song is I just write lines, you know? And yeah, a lot of the lines are good, but it's more of, like, to get my mind thinking in a certain way. Like, to start following certain patterns in my composition that I don't normally. And these sentences, I might not end up using them, the lines I start at first, but they're essential because they show me what the internal logic of the song is, I guess. So when I come back to them, then it's simple. You know, like, to me, the actual writing of the rap, and I wouldn't say this to everyone, but me and you, our rap, to me, is kind of similar. And so I'll say it to you, but it's like, by the time you start picking lines to be included in the song, it should be, like, you can't miss, right? Like, you've set up the structure and the prompt and the idea so well that you could say anything at any fucking moment and everything would make perfect sense, you know? And so, like, and you're not struggling for lines, and you're not thinking, is this line good enough? And you're not thinking, like, fucking, well, what rhymes with river? Or stuff like that, you know? But yeah, that comes with time, and it's like, you know, I'm really not worried about it. In your case, it's just, I could tell at some parts that it's just like, yeah, well, you should cut that, move that over there, bring that forward, and make the other people emphasize his line. Is really, like, yeah, I guess that's, like, the most important thing. Just, like, emphasizing your great ideas and realizing that music at all times is a fucking trade-off, man. You know, it's like, it's not, the best songs aren't like, oh, like, the beat is the main focus, and the rap is the main focus, and the hype men are the main focus. It's like everything is working together to support everything else, is how I would put it. So yeah, like I said, you got the posse cut rap thing down, but dude, you could clearly, so very clearly, do like a million other things here, and I know you've got these ideas, like, bouncing around in your mind. It is just like, yeah, like, listening to yourself, understanding your own artistry, and what you're trying to do, where you fit into the lineage of rap history. I mean, because that's probably what gives me the biggest benefit and the biggest boost when I do these lessons is like, dude, when we talk, I can point to, I can pull out Lauryn Hill. I can pull out Run DMC track. I can pull out the inspiration for that one song that I sent you. It's Jean Grey's A-Likes and other beats like it. Right. It's more about the tradition. But yeah, I mean, it's all, it all makes sense. Some people act like making music is like you just wait for inspiration, and then other people might say like, oh, well, you could never really truly explain what's great about great works of art. And I think that's all bullshit. And I think that's only people who don't really know what the fuck they're doing say. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, an engineer would never be like, oh, yeah, I don't know why that bridge works. Then you wouldn't use that fucking bridge, right? So it's just like, I'm sorry, this is what we're going for. And maybe it's like, yeah, I don't always reach that ultimate absolutist position, but you should try to get there, So, okay. So let's...
the way that I tend to do things generally, and this is like music, it's like solving disputes with other people. Yeah. It's like parenting my kid. It's like I get a feeling like this is something is the right way or that something is the wrong way.
Yeah.
And then I need to justify it.
Solve it. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like I have this feeling, but sometimes my feelings are garbage.
Yeah.
Right? But if I have the feeling and I can back it up with like
examples,
sort of logic.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and that's like exactly, honestly, dude, that's like paraphrasing. Let me see if I could find the quote. Maurice Ravel, wrong note. So do you know a lot of classical music?
No, I'll probably get more into it.
Okay.
I mean, I did some music in high school and like, but no.
Okay. Maurice Ravel. Sorry, I'm still quote on wrong note. Maurice Ravel, I'm sorry, I'm still trying to find it. But Maurice Ravel, one of my favorite composers, one of the greatest composers of all time, and probably the greatest orchestrator ever. He has this quote that he said, every composition he starts out, he picks one wrong note. And then the rest of the piece is just resolving that wrong note. And I think the word you used is like justify or solving, right? And that's exactly what he's saying. And he's speaking in harmonic terms, but you're thinking more of like in ensemble or dramatic or rhythmic terms, right? And I think that's the perfect way to go, right? Because it's perfectly of a piece with what rap is. And rap, rap can become...
Send me that guy's name quickly in the comments.
Yeah, it's Maurice Ravel. And I'll try to find the quote. It's like, every piece I have starts with a wrong note, and then the rest of the time I spend resolving it. And it should be somewhere out there. But it's perfectly of a piece with rap as a history, because rap can start out simple, like Sugar Hill Gang. Rap can become more complex with its rhymes, like Eminem. It can be more complex with its rhythms, like Nas. It can become more complex with its beats, like Kendrick Lamar's Damn. But the one thing it will always be is aggressive. And it will just always be confrontational. And that's why this idea that you have of resolving disputes or solving problems is so of a piece with what rap does. Because, like, dog, you're on a mic, and it's just you, and you're basically telling everyone else what you think. And if they disagree with you, it doesn't fucking matter, because you're the one with the goddamn microphone. And so, like, this is what I've come to appreciate more and more in my songs, is, like, this... I really try to push the listener's buttons. I try to be obnoxious as possible a lot of times. And just to be like, if the listener's sitting there to be like, he won't fucking do that, and then I do that thing. And then the listener is like, yeah, but he won't, there's no way he'll fucking do that. And then I do that. Because my point is, like you're saying, this is the problem, is that I got the microphone, and while you're listening to my song, bitch, you have to listen to whatever I say, So it's not really in those songs I played you, but like the, in two, it is. In two, it is, because I have this one.
Was that the one on SoundCloud?
It's that one. Did I send you that?
Yeah. The one on SoundCloud is the only one you sent me.
Oh, that's so. Yeah, I'll send you a different one then. This is, and we can listen to a little bit of it here.
But I definitely heard what you're saying in the SoundCloud one.
Okay, yeah, that's one. Yeah, and that's pretty confrontational, because don't I fucking tell the listener during timeout? Yeah, I tell the listener during timeout at the end. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's my point, to just be like, No, bitch. No. Like, I did that thing. You did not do that thing. Therefore, I am better than you. And you can't, you can't. Where's my phone? Like, you can't call me. You can't text me and email me and be like, that rap wasn't good because you listened to my song. And so, like, the argument is over. You heard it. And I got to say the things I did. So, this one, let's listen to a little bit of this.
Book,
Yeah.
strive. Book, 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 da, da, book, book, da, da, book, book, da, 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 book, book, da, da, book, book, da, 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 book, book. Book, 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 da da, book, da, book, da, book, book. Check this out, yo. See, you're shoddy and slocky, floppy, a tchotchke, you're squadly, you're oddsy. Yes, sorry, but you're not me. You're not me. Cause I'm plausibly, but if y'all sneaks were on our feed, well, this hype man wouldn't hype Harley and. Yeah, we probably listen to y'all's beat. Chase. Yeah, it's right, motherfuckers, we would. But oh my god, we're not, are we? No. So shut up, yo, cause guess what? Maestro Boomer wants some more. And yo, thanks, Shoddy. You're still slocky, still bloody, yada, yada, yada. Did I say Shoddy? Did I say Shoddy? My fault this time. A pun on hot, some pun on fly. Next there's this line, and then next there's this line, and it went like I break beds, cause I date best, cause I bake bread. Wait, I'm not Drake yet. So she's my French flow. Strike your strike. You wanna know what it means? Just knife your life. So to be fair, just sit there and say, fuck your ear. Just word after word, man. Who cares? Yeah, who the fuck cares about your hopes and dreams, your rights and wrongs? But Maestro, I don't like this song. Probably because it's not a song. Do I really have to spell it out for you? Try harder, people, hard. Psst, here's a hint. Avant-garde. Now who wouldn't say it? Maestro will make it. Yeah.
You're shoddy. You're slocky. Talking to you, Mr. Maestro. Yeah. Are you watching? That's so come. It's what you give to us. It's a boondoggle, really. We're not you. Me. That was a poppy. That was a gobble-leaf. That was a yes. Poppy. We don't want to know what you think's poppy. He thinks it's cool. He thinks it's dear. To say something like, and now it's the end of the verse. Here. Okay, fine, but we were getting here.
Yo, fuck you. Come here. Give me that fucking shit. Wait, hold up, yo, Mike. I'm gonna beat the goddamn shit out of you. So fuck you.
Hey, so guess who I am?
I'll strength with the strength, man. Strength.
Nah, you're boxing out boxy. They're spunky, snarky, and your jump, just that jump. Fine, want it back?
Yeah, give me that.
Okay.
Shoddy, slocky, flop, squad.
Get out of the way. It's just word after word. Well, I'm the one who cares, so I don't snoop, don't eat, don't dare you to chase
Fuck you. Fuck you. So, calm down, man. Chill. Yo, I'm just not gonna let you spell my name like that. Yo, it does not matter. He's a fucking weirdo. Fuck him. He's not even talking about you. You. Yeah, you.
Who, me?
What's your name, bro?
Why?
Cause that's what I do before I kick ass, bitch. I take names. Yeah, cause I'm not a pussy. Okay, everyone shut up. You get back in your corner, okay? And you, count down from strength. Got it?
Hey, Captain.
Alright, everyone good? Fuck you. Alright, that's it. Battle. We're doing this live. Y'all got 10 seconds to write your best scene, and then it's going down. So they're like round, and then judges vote afterward, okay? Okay, go. What do you want to do? What? I don't know. Who cares? Just shut up. God damn it.
This is too much.
Hey, yo, you cool with holding us down, guys? Dapo. Sure? Dapo. That would be so good. God, at least someone here is making sense. Alright, I don't care. Yo, I'm not gonna hold up. Alright,
let's pull the ass
shit, then let it loose. Shield, dapo. Before you get started, you're probably like, that. So, almost forgot. But actually, man, fuck you. You're not me, so fuck you. Are you? Go ahead, say your name out loud for out there. It's Maestro. So no, I'm change the steel. Fuck you. I rap like that, like this. When there's bro, what a triplet is. We can make her a skyscraper. When he goes flat out like his head bounce. They handle a height. I need a map. That's why back then, me. So to be fair, just sit there and watch the man who fucking errors. Just word after word, man. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares?
That's awesome.
I mean, that's yeah.
Are there any? Is there any instrumentation, like non-vocal instrumentation?
No, exactly.
Okay,
it's all me.
I can't tell. I can't be sure because like it's.
No, it'll be easier. I sent it to you, and if you want, Yeah, I can give you lyrics for it too if you want, so you can understand what I'm saying. But like the whole that is maybe the most obnoxious rap song made of all time because I am constantly fucking daring the listener to turn it off, and I almost say it. Like if you notice, there is no content. I literally say nothing the entire time. I even say, like, at this point...
You're still bloody.
You're still shoddy, you're still slocky, you're still bloody, yada, yada, yada. Did I say shoddy, did I say shoddy? Some pun on hot, some pun on fly. Next, there's this line, and you think I'm gonna come with, like, some other pun. And then I'm like, nope, we're still here. Next, there's this line, and it went like I break beds, because I date best, because I make checks. Wait, I'm not Drake yet, so excuse my, so it's, and even at one point when I say,
What do you want to do? What? God damn it.
This is too much.
This is too much. This is too much. The whole song is too much, man. And that was like exactly my point, because I wanted to continuously dare the listener to be like, oh, you think I'm obnoxious? How about now? Like, oh, there are 5 of me going? Well, like, how about we add a 6? Or we all rap at the same time. And then at the end, I just pull the rug out from under the listener. Because you know what they would say? You know what they would say? You know what people will say about that song? They'll say what I'm saying, like, oh, he's obnoxious. Like, oh, he doesn't know the history of rap. But at the end, this is my retort. It's just word after word. Man, who cares? So, like, you're actually the asshole. For like sitting there and thinking that you are rap and that you know what rap is. Because it's just word after word, man. Who cares? Like you're gonna yell at me because I sit here in my 50 square foot bedroom and I make rap like 7 hours a day for 3 months. Like, really, I'm the bad guy. It's me. You're gonna write on my, So yeah. So let me send you the lyrics then. But like now you can probably see why I think your and mine artistry like are so similar, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's like, how would I put this? Like maybe a year ago I was at your place to be like, oh, well, what if, it would be really cool to have this rapping. And I want to be clear. I don't think like I think what I'm doing is the same thing as you, just better, because I realize that some parts of mine are just so indulgent. And so, like that 4 I played for you, this one. Like, that is like a study piece, man. That's like something, if you hear it the first time, like imagine if they played that on like your local pop music radio station. Listeners would call in and want the DJ's head, it's a study piece, right? And so that's why, like, I can appreciate about yours that more people would probably maybe get down with it. So let me, I can send you the.
That's sort of what I'm going for. Is like a wedge in.
Yeah, and that's really that's nice because I am like I say at the end in the lyrics, like I'm like over the fucking wall or over the fucking pale. And so there's one more lyrics list. Yeah, I'll just give you all of these, actually. They're all somewhere in here. Oh, because the thing is, like you pointed out, there's no beat, right? And so what they're doing is like a beatboxing, but I'm not going... The words they're saying, I've actually picked words that mimic every element of a drum set. So I use book for a snare... book for a bass kick, dot for a snare, chick for a hi-hat, shield for a ride, like... And so I can just like improvise on it, like dot book dot book dot book dot book chick and like it, in my head I'm hearing like or whatever you want to do, and of course that's based on like Rozell's beatboxing, his own album Scratches beatbox, especially his interludes for the Roots, even a fucking Cool Kids track where the beat is them saying it's like clap. They're like clap, bass, but bass, clap, bass. But their thing is they really EQ'd it. But I didn't have to EQ it because I picked the right words. So...
Yeah, I was actually thinking about doing something like that.
Yeah.
And I think, I wouldn't do it all with vocals, but just picking like dirty words.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and like this is exactly that's like your prompt, right? Because I've done a lot of shit with dirty words because, dude, it's like how to put this. Okay, so you know enough about classical music. You know how classical music has like themes and like they develop the themes. It's like da 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 becomes da 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 or whatever, and then the whole rest of the symphony is still only based on those 4 notes. One of the themes for the album I'm working on is the phrase "fuck you." And it's because it's so interesting to me in rap that like people are like, oh, it has so many bad words and like, oh, I can't believe the way they speak and it's so gratuitous. And so like I kind of take the sentence "fuck you," which is really a super condensed version of why people criticize rap. But then I like reappropriate it to be a positive thing. So I'm just, in all my songs, I think at least twice I say the words "fuck you," because really, man, that's sort of like my ultimate goal, my ultimate message, but like not in a bad way. My message is just like, fuck it all, man. Again, it's just word after word, man, who cares? So it's like, yeah, fuck you, fuck me too, fuck him, fuck everyone, it doesn't matter, it's rap, you know? And so again, it's not to dismiss its worth, it's to be like, if you don't take it so seriously, this is what we can do. You can actually make this super serious stuff. So like your dirty word thing, it's like that's where 4 came from, I realized afterwards. You know, I open like this.
We're that cunt who be talking shit.
And if you notice, I picked the opening verses, the Earl at the end, and this one, because they're so dirty, and I wanted verses by professional rappers that met 3 criteria. They were misogynistic, they were homophobic, and they had tons of curse words. Because as soon as you remove them from their musical context, you start to think about, wow, what if Earl Sweatshirt really meant that he date raped that girl? You know, and I'm not accusing Earl Sweatshirt of date rape. Or like this dude, calling women the C word, saying that he raped her and stuff like that. Because in between is where I show why I picked those verses, which is to be like, oh, well, look, we could do all of this rap, not have any dirty words. So if we could make music like what's in the middle of that, then why are we making music like what's at the end of it? But again, like this departure point was dirty words. You know, so even Eminem does this. He's like, how many dirty words are gonna come out of my mouth? Shit, cunt ass bitch, faggot, dippity doo-wop, or whatever that line is. You know, so like there's a lot there. And what I really like about that proposal of yours is that it goes back to what I was saying before, where it's a prompt, right? Like the prompt is like, man, if I made 80, how could I write a good rap verse where fuck is 80% of the verse or something like that, you know? Or or I've thought about like, what if you like made a list of all the words that are in other languages, but that are dirty in other languages, but then you interspersed it with English, you know? Like these are like my kind of like departure points. And so yeah, like there's a ton of stuff you could do there.
I'm just gonna see if I can find the spot and then I can tell it to you and then.
Okay. Yeah. Also, Wang Keto did not strike me as rapey.
I have my yours.
Also, plus, like rapey in rap, like you kind of got to be like super rapey to be rapey, you know, because otherwise it's sort of just. And plus, you might be good friends with your ex-wife, but also I don't know if that's the best person to ask for advice on rap, you know.
I get that.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like,
the thing is, like, I have, even if this is like wholly anonymous, like I have a standard for myself that I want to be able to like.
Yeah, that's true.
Continue to represent myself to my community in a way that, like,
exactly.
I'm not going to get rejected, right?
Yeah, and that's why and I mean, honestly, that's because, like, that's why I really didn't publish anything besides the 4 songs I played you. Not that the songs I was writing before were rapey, but it's like you just start writing about the things you hear rappers have written about before. Like doing drugs and like partying and like guns and stuff. But like, shit, dude, I guess one time in my life I've held a gun. And like, you know, I've never sold drugs, you know, and so just none of this shit is like relevant to me. So that's why I was happy to get to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, the songs.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, actually, let's keep going through here because I see the time.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
if you got to bounce a 6.
Yeah, if you don't mind, and we can do more
Yeah.
lessons if you want. I know it's kind of sounded like a one-off thing, but yeah, if you come up with more material, do you want to schedule another lesson now, or you'll just hit me up later?
I'm gonna have to.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Conglomerate funds before.
Yeah. I know. I realize it's okay if rap lessons is not the number one thing on your monthly budget. Fucking things like bills, I imagine.
Yeah.
Okay. Holy.
So like on the Holy Trinity.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Thoughts on the bridge. Maybe start it from like 10, 15 seconds earlier, just so you hear that.
Okay.
And though I love the sticking in my head makes a sound, we're kinda clicking.
But the D's going strong. No, it takes a licking cause I got the heart. Motherfucking bitchin' that could be the rounds back from a crucifixion.
No, yeah, that sounds absolutely fine to me. And it sounds fine to me because it goes with everything else in the song. You know, you kind of ask if there's anything harmonically about the organ part that bothers me harmonically. And the answer is no. And it's not because necessarily the harmonies all go together. I think they go together pretty well. But it's like a collage effect. You know, so it's not necessarily that I'm comparing the new harmonies to what's come before, but it's like they're planing, I guess. You know, they're floating on top of each other, and we're not comparing them because they're different samples. One has been repeated, stuff like that. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's how I feel.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But
and honestly, like in rap, that's just expected. You know. Yeah. Okay. So keto, rapey. Yeah. Okay.
And then just going through the comments.
Yeah, me too. One, I'm glad you told me that. And when we talk, I wasn't sure if it's just that odd nauseum to make it, or if there was someone that sounds like the latter. Yeah, this was comment number 2. That is just a audible thing, you know, not like an artistic choice. It's like you got to make sure your voice cuts through the track. And it's a little hard because, again, like what makes Kanye West good, and I think I say this in the feedback, is he hears his music the way his listeners hear his music. So, and you know, what I do is sometimes I just write it down on a card and I'll be like, listen to the song as if you're hearing it for the first time. And try to forget everything that you know, like what rhymes with what and stuff like that, which is hard. And that's where editing is the hardest part. Yeah, that's a good thing. And yeah, at least when I was more close, and I'm sure there was some. Yeah. And about the levels, the volume levels on comment number 3. Again, that's an easy thing to fix, and there are even some auto mixing plugins that will do stuff like that. What do you mix in? Are you Ableton in Logic?
I should be, but I'm not. I'm using GarageBand still.
Oh man, nice, nice. No, GarageBand is really good. I use Logic, which I would say for like rap production, Ableton is way more popular and more consistent because what would you say? It automates a lot of the stuff, like mixing, I think. So I actually don't. I mean, I know the basics of Ableton because at a certain point, any DAW is just like any other workstation, you know. Yeah. But Logic, so if I were you, I might invest in Ableton, which is not nearly as expensive as Logic, I don't believe.
Yeah, you can get the basic version for like $99 a year.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, do you have to run it? Do you have to run it?
Run it? What do you mean run it?
You have to pay every year to keep using it?
Oh, I think so. I don't.
Oh man,
it's
that is such
$99,
bullshit.
whether it's $99 a year, whether it's $99 once. I don't remember.
No. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've just noticed that so many more softwares are doing that. Yeah,
they are doing that.
Yeah.
And I've got a good friend, the friend who doesn't like the harmonics on that on that chorus.
Yeah.
Who does a bunch of stuff on Ableton and could at least like give me a introduction to it.
Okay, yeah, that's good. And plus, it's designed to be super easy to pick up. And Logic is more for like pro studio engineers and shit like that. But yeah, man, I mean, London on the track, you know, another super famous trap producer. He uses Ableton. There's another. Metro Boomin uses Ableton. So it's not like you're putting on training wheels or anything. You know, it's
yeah.
No, it
seems like a good step. It's just one I haven't taken.
No, yeah. Yeah.
There's some upfront investment, not just money, but like time.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, this is helpful. Figure this out. I'm going to re-record both Meek and Dill's part anyway. I'll see if in the process I can fix this too. It's good to know that you have this response. I'd like to talk more about what I'm doing with form when we chat. I think I have written the first 3 of these songs for I wrote on 8-bar host, so there's no intentional deviations, just in case I'm mistaking my ignorance for ingenuity. So whatever, man. Ingenuity is ingenuity, man. Apparently, like, Orson Welles had never directed a movie before Citizen Kane, so he didn't know what to fucking do either. So I really want to know what, if anything, works as it is, and what needs to submit itself to... Tyranny of 4, interesting. It's just funny that you hear that phrase, that you say that phrase, because I thought my composition professor at Duke was, like, the one who coined it, but apparently not. So the other interesting parts can chime
It's totally
through.
possible that I've heard it first on something on like your blog.
Me, actually, I did use that term at one point. Okay, but no, here's the thing, right? Here's like the fucking dirty secret about the tyranny of 4. Is that in rap, all 4s are not created equal. You know, like people say like all meters, rap is always in a 4/4 meter, and then it's always 16 verses. But really, like 16 bars of Biggie on Hypnotize is very different from like 16 bars of MF Doom on Vomit Spit. You know, it's like, because the 4/4 meter, this tyranny of 4, is really just a giant bucket. Like, in a chapter on music theory, it would be like the title of the chapter. And then you talk about how 4, you can really chop it up into 3 plus 5. You know, let's do that right now. Where is fucking Cocoa Butter Kisses by chance? So I'm just telling you that the tyranny of 4 is sort of like a misconception, and that it's not something to worry about anyway. So let's take this.
Addicted to a groupie, I ended up on an album cover in the Gucci. You see, I mean, still a guy, but a goofy doobie. Flowing about drugs and the Uzi, that's the dual principle. Sometimes
Okay, so this is, here, let me give you the information so you can look it up later. Do you know Cocoa Butter Kisses by chance?
I don't.
Okay, yeah, okay. So that's at 3:45. We'll get there. This is how the song opens.
Mama think I stink. I got burn holes in my hoodies. All my homies think it's stank. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. I miss my
1,
cocoa
2,
butter
3,
kisses.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is the quote-unquote tyranny of 4. But if you notice, the chord, there are 2 chords. Right? And the first is on beat 1 of the first bar. The second is on beat 4 of the first bar and carries through the entire next bar. So really, first chord has 3 beats. Second chord has 5 beats, right?
Yeah.
So this is quote-unquote the tyranny of 4. 2 4/4 bars repeated over and over. Right? But this is what they do later on in the song.
Cigarettes on sticks, I miss my cocoa butter kisses. I miss my cocoa butter kisses.
I can make a flow, pitter patter with a patter pitter.
Okay, so it's at 3:32. And what they do is they change the, how do I want to put this? The 2 4/4 bars and redivide its previous 4 plus 4 structure into a new 3 plus 5 structure. So it's still equaling 8, but they have really heavily shifted the accent. And they shift the accent by removing drum parts. Okay, so now I'm going to count it for you, how it should actually be counted. So I'll count 4, 4, and then you'll tell how it's wrong and hard for me to do, and then I'll count 3 plus 5. Let me start it over.
I miss my cocoa butter kisses.
I can make a
flow. Pitter patter with a patter, pitter two C's. You know, trying to be in a groovy. Not to be addicted to a groupie. I get in the mood like I'm covered in a Gucci. You see, I'm still a guy, but the goofy. Flowing about drugs and the Uzi. That's the dual principle. Sometimes I'ma be about some hoes. Sometimes I'ma wanna make a movie. And when it comes to rapping fast, I'm the heat exposed. And though my style freakish, I can still break your body down to 5 pieces like I did Voltron. Cause I'm addicted to the crap and I be off for OG. Know me, I'm the only one can only other don't see. Never scared of mean spirits, methamphetamine lyrics. Cooler like I'm off of codeine, low key. Don't be so judgmental, even though I'm reminiscing. If I don't know what I miss is, I'ma end up figuring out that it's home. And my mother and my grandmother come up with a
Okay, sorry. Part of my description was wrong. They don't shift the accent by removing drum parts. They shift it by moving drum parts to now land on beat 4. So it's like the bass kick takes up beats 1, 2, and 3, and the snare takes up beats 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the next bar. Okay, because this is the real 3 plus 5 shift.
Used to be in a job be in a goofy, trying hard not to be addicted to a groupie.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it's super smart because they're still abiding by the rules of rap. The rules of rap, one of the rules, bass kick has to be on beat 1, right? But the only thing is they moved where beat 1 is. So it's this really cool, if you were to notate it, you would have to do a 3/4 meter plus a 5/4 meter. So I'm just saying, don't worry about the tyranny of 4 thing, you know?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Did you hear the new song I put in that folder?
No, I didn't. You want me to check that out now?
Yeah, I want you to listen to that just because I want you to hear that and just think about where I'm going.
Okay.
Like the main feedback was like, what? Why all the dicks?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. And so this is kind of like a fleshing out, no pun intended. Shit. Yeah. Let me look up your email real quick. All right, it's downloaded. What's it called? Heterosexual 20. Okay. Yeah.
Yo, rock hard bar, drop some penis and vagina shit on these motherfuckers. Hashtag heterosexual. Hashtag penis and vagina. Hashtag start rapping now.
It's a manliest, glamorous, calamitous, filthy, amorous, heterosexual. I don't know, though, it's strictly females that can get this dick hard. Still some motherfuckers can't quit with the bullshit that the bard is marred. Bard is scarred as some memories from college that he'd like to discard. His dick obsessed too much. Attraction to the females be professed too much. Man, they're claiming that the bard does protest too much. But that's a laughable, ludicrous, malicious account. The bard does protest at the perfect amount. No need resorting to bargain men, cause they're bone. All the ladies they reporting bard penis a riot like Stonewall. Why ain't they clean? Honey's great to take the peen like it an urgent phone call. When the words I intone fall on the microphone, you'll hear testosterone and pheromones in this tonal voice. I'm the choice to make Shaniqua just a ceremony. That's all.
Cool. Yeah, this makes more sense to me. You know, and it's not that it makes sense because like you're explaining why there are so many dicks, but it's like you make a joke in such a way that you're addressing the concern you know that I have in my mind, which is why all the dicks? You know, because it's so over the top. So that's sort of like your thing I'm getting out of this. It's just like being so over the top. But again, you have to be over the top like naming your song Heterosexual, not over the top like naming your group Puce Mafia. You know, like you have to make it super obvious. And I don't want to say audiences are idiots, but what's the saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Like, when you're making a song, you lead a horse to water, and then you shove that horse's fucking head under the trough. What is it called?
Yeah.
The faucet, whatever. You know, and it's, like, really super just obvious, you know. Because it's like, and then people can grow on it. Really, is what good art is. You know, you give them the obvious level, but then you make it layers. You make it layers. You make it layers. And you're like, oh, this
part. Did you get the Stonewall reference?
No. When was that?
Why can't they... wait, what is it? It's, Honeys say his peen is a riot like Stonewall. Do you know what the Stonewall riots are?
Yeah. A riot like Stonewall?
A riot like Stonewall.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, that's funny. Yeah. And so, okay, yeah, actually there's, so it came as a bit of a surprise, but there is sort of like, what would you say, a subgenre of gay rap, of like Dick Collective, and I don't ever know any of these fucking people. And again, it's sort of not really what you're looking for, because you want these people to be assimilated and incorporated into the mainstream history, right? But I mean, yeah, I don't know, like check out that stuff. What did they do? I don't know, man, because like now it's like, well, yeah, gay marriage is legal, but when these guys like Dick Collective started out in the 90s, because this book talks about them, what did they see in rap? Did they rap a different way? Did they make jokes about it? Because obviously some people had to hide it, I think like Missy Elliott sort of had to play it down. Eve had to play it down. And obviously, girls, people are always more...
Hold on 1 second, Martin.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll be done here in a couple minutes.
Yeah, but even maybe go back and like check them out and just see what they got out of it. Because yeah, like you can do...
They're called Dick Collective?
Deep Dick Collective. Here, I'm sending you a Wikipedia. See, Deep Dick Collective. I don't know, man. How does Puce Mafia not know about Deep Dick Collective?
I don't know.
Yeah, no. But okay, I'll read about it. It was a black and queer hip-hop group based in Oakland, active in the homo hop scene, I guess is the name of the subgenre, regular performers. So yeah, man, I don't know, like, they probably, I mean, yeah, obviously it was their fucking life, so they had to think about it all the time. And it's like, what do you do, as like, if you're a sexual part of a sexual orientation that people typically think of as effeminate, but you make this super hard type of rap, and they in the 2000s that was fucking Get Rich or Die Trying was 2004 by 50 Cent. Game was 2005 with the documentary. So I think it'd be interesting for you to check it out, and maybe. I'm not telling you to connect it to the subgenre, but they must have ideas. And even if your thing is more like, this is just how you write about all of the dicks instead of you actually being gay or anything like that, you could still learn a lot from it, right? Because, probably the most fun, versatile, varied stuff could come out of 1 minute pretending you're gay, the next minute pretending you're a heterosexual, and then people will never really know. And when you become famous, everyone will ask you, are you gay? And that will be the opening interview question, and it will become like a meme on Reddit, on the Reddit hip-hop subreddit.
The answer is always go fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just easy. Yeah, because it's like, well, really it has nothing to do with that anyway, whether you are gay or are not gay. And so it's like even fucking Tyler, the Creator. So you listen to Odd Future, right?
I definitely knew about them like when they were just sort of coming out, and I listened to a bit of it, and I've actually just started to get back into it.
Okay, well, so maybe you didn't hear about this kind of current event in the rap world then. That Tyler, the Creator, is gay?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, see, but here's the thing. The funny thing is, he tried to come out as gay. This is what it seems like. He tried to come out as gay, and everyone just dismissed it as Tyler being Tyler. Because he is so over the top and he's so jokey. So he like tweeted like something like, guys, I'm gay. And then everyone like tweeted back like, oh yeah, you are, you faggot. And like no one was prepared to have this conversation of like, okay, like one of the biggest stars in rap is gay in a sometimes homophobic genre, So it's like that is sort of the state of sexual orientation relations, I guess, in rap. So there's a lot to be made of there, is how I would put it. There's a lot of music to be written, and yeah, it's super funny. Like, yeah, at a certain point I was just like, all right, well, Dix is his thing. So, no, that's cool though. But yeah. So I really liked it, man. And you can just hit me up if you ever got more stuff for me to hear. That cool?
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Okay, cool.
This has been fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, tons of fun, man. Yeah, keep it up and send me new stuff when you got it.
Cool. Yeah, man.
Okay, yeah, peace. Peace, Jordy. Have a good one, man. Later.
See you later.